Hoi hoi, it's louisity again, and for this video, we are going to tackle our July 2025 TBR through our Alphabet TBR game. Hooray! So, it's been a year since I started the Alphabet TBR game, and honestly, I'm just thankful, this TBR game made me want to read more, be more focused on reading, and I was able to read more books than usual, which is, either way, still a good thing. I know quality over quantity and all that stuff, but to me, it's just fulfilling that I was able to increase my reading a little bit more. So far, as per my Goodreads, I think I read 21 new books and I reread one new book. So basically, I was able to read about 22 books this year, including the rereads, so that's really wonderful. I'm definitely grateful for this game. Thank you for all those who've been watching these videos, and basically, thank you for continually, watching my other videos or supporting my channel. So in any shape or form. The only downside though is I was able to know the books and read books that I did not like. It kind of increased a little bit more, as you can tell from my some of the what you call this, annual videos that I've had, with all the books that I read kind of videos, and you will probably know throughout my future videos, it's already the mid-year, so and as well as who knows, we'll see in my annual bookish videos. So but yeah, overall, setting that aside, I'm thankful and I enjoy what I do. I enjoy reading, so definitely that's why, having these Alphabet TBR games, these monthly TBRs, helps me set my mind hey, you gotta read, gotta embrace reading, So it's been really fun, and I, feel and think that I'm more productive with these. So I just cannot believe, but I kind of can believe because I know time and time again, time flies so fast, it zooms, and it's been a year. So yeah, before I talk about my July 2025 TBR, let us, get to know if I was able to finish my June 2025 TBR with the help of the Alphabet TBR game. So for letter V, which is a series continuation, I chose Gregor and the Prophecy of Bane by Suzanne Collins, but I have a bit of a twist that I decided to do starting in June 2025, and I have this thing where I can swap. So I decided to swap it with another Everand book because I want to make the most out of my Everand subscription. I decided to swap it with Point of Retreat by Colleen Hoover, which is something that I've been wanting to continue in a while, I've read Slammed, I think in 2015 was the last time that I read Slammed, and ever since then I haven't moved on with the series. So I decided to proceed with the series upon checking that Point of Retreat is still available, even if I already read an Everand book in June 2025. For letter S, it is Spin the Wheel, and the wheel chose The Burning Maze by Rick Riordan, and I read this. For letter A, which is a book that does not start with an A, N, or the, basically a book that does not start with any of the English articles, I chose Night Road by Kristen Hanna. Now I am currently filming this on the 29th of June, and I'm kind of almost done with it as far as I can tell. But if I'm not able to finish it in June, I'm just going to have to carry it over in July as the usual mechanics. And for letter C, which is Nature on the Cover, I chose The Black Kids by Christina Hammonds Reed, and I read this. Alright, so before we start talking about the books that I picked for July 2025 with the help of my Alphabet TBR game, I'm going to explain to you the mechanics of the game. Now what's going to happen is that I have a jar containing, of course, the 26 letters of the alphabet. Now each letter has a corresponding prompt, and of course I'm going to have to think of a book that corresponds to that prompt / letter. Now, I would initially start with 4 picks, per month, because I kind of know my reading pace. Now, if let's say, here's the catch, okay? If I pick like letters consecutively that are like next to each other, so say I pick letter A and then I pick letter B, or I pick letter Z and I pick letter Y, then I'm gonna have to add another pick. Now, if I pick letter A and pick letter Z, or if I pick letter Z and I pick letter A, then that's going to be the exception. It is going to be usual. But if, let's say, I pick letter A and then I pick letter C, no, let's make it, I pick letter A and then I pick letter D and then I pick letter B. Of course, the status code remains the same. There won't be additional picks. And it is up to me whether I can combine prompts, because it is my game anyway, so we'll see if I would be doing that. But a bit of spoiler, I really try to read as many books as I can. I want to exceed my goal in September or October. Already I have 32 books in my Goodreads 2025 reading challenge, and I really want to exceed that. But yeah, so basically, if we pick letters, consecutively that are ooh, I get tongue-tied. Hopefully this is still clear. If I get to pick letters that are next to each other consecutively, then I'm going to have to add another pick. And also, if I pick the letter that I picked in the previous month, then I'm going to have to add another pick. But I want to be kind to myself. I want to make it up to a maximum of 8 picks. Alright? So, yeah. Without further ado, let us begin. Pick number 1. Letter J. Letter J is TBR jar, and the jar made me pick Daughter of Smoking Bone by Laini Taylor. Now, I haven't read a book by Laini Taylor, and I'm glad that, the Fate jar made me pick. It's been kind of one of the books I consider for some of the prompts here in my Alphabet TBR game. And yeah, finally the time came that I get to read. Plus, I'm going to be listening this to an audiobook, so it would be a little bit more convenient for me, especially if I'm going to go, on site to our office, so yeah. Pick number 2. Letter Z. Letter Z is new to me author, and as much as possible, as I've said in my previous clips, I want to prioritize the books that I found in Everand, those books that I downloaded, and I am choosing American Panda by Gloria Chow. Now, I haven't read any book by her. I've seen her books sometime in the late 2010s, kind of when YouTube, BookTube was booming, and I found it through some of the videos before, and it's kind of in the realms of To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I believe in a thing called love, if you know those books, written by Jenny Han and Maureen Gu respectively. So definitely I'm curious. I hope that I'm going to be enjoying this one. So yeah, finally I get to read a book by Gloria Chow, and hopefully Everand is going to make me read this one. Pick number 3. Letter R. Letter R is a Richard pick, and honestly, I wanted to give Richard a bit of a hard time for this one. I want him to think carefully which one is he going to pick, but it seems like he had an easy time choosing. Now, I made him choose between Amari and the Great Game and Escape to the Isle of the Lost. So those were written by B.B. Austin and Melissa de la Cruz respectively. And Richard chose Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Austin. Now, honestly, I've been holding off and reading this one just because I really enjoyed Amari and the Night Brothers. And I was like, of course, I gotta read some of those, but I'm not yet ready to read that one, or not yet ready to read those. So I was kind of holding off. I kind of want to read it because I'm excited to know what's going to happen next, because I really enjoyed, like I said, the first book, and I still haven't seen the paperback version of the third book. So I'm kind of if I'm finished with this one, I gotta wait till that comes out, so that my shelves look better. It's not really that off. I mean, as much as possible, I want my books to be kind of in the same format, but if circumstances do not permit that, then it is what it is. I've seen the hardcover version of it in one of the fully booked branches. I forgot exactly which, but yeah, it's a hardcover, so I'm not yet going to be buying that one. Plus, it's a little bit more expensive than paperback. But yeah, finally, I'm going to be reading this one. It kind of reminds me a bit of Dragon Pearl by Yoon Holly, because they were searching for their brother and they wanting to know what happened to their brother, kind of thing. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about. We got some twists in the first book, some surprises, or maybe some people might not think it's really a twist, because it could have been something that people might have predicted, but I think it still is kind of surprising, and I'm definitely looking forward. Hopefully the expectations, the hype lives up to my emotions or thoughts. So yeah, time has come for me to read Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Austin. Pick number 4. Letter F.
1, 2, 3. Underline mo yung ano. Yun daw.
And finally, letter F, which is father pick. My dad chose Serafina and the Black Cloak by Robert Beatty. Now, I have the third book, the physical copy of it, which I got from the free library and SM Aura called Booknook. And yeah, so I was I'm gonna do a bit of a taste test. If I end up liking this one, I might decide to own the other books in the series as well. But if I don't, then if it's just gonna be fine for me. I was also thinking that I might return the copy that I have, which is the third book in the series, if I don't know, I end up not really loving it, if I just enjoyed it, so I might end up returning it or putting it in a different free library if I find one here in the Philippines. And yeah, I mean, I did realize that was the third book that I had, but yeah, I've been wanting to read this. I used to put this in my Christmas wish list, which is now, it's not really probably going to be in it anymore, but definitely I'm excited to read this one, and hopefully that I get to enjoy, the Serafina series, as well as his other series that I know, like the Willa series as well. So yeah, finally I get to start with this series. Feel free to comment down below the books that you plan to read in July 2025, or the books that you are kind of like in the mood to read, or like thinking about reading, those books in your radar, or the books that you recently acquired, or maybe if you don't really do like TBRs or you don't do book hauls, just feel free to comment down below like the book that is on top of your head. Like, just feel free to type it down below. And if you've made it this far, leave like this emoji where a person, boy, woman, or person meditating. So I hope you folks liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And also put down links and handles on my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there and support me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all.